We have a lot of work to do, but guys are working really hard. I think that all 4 sessions there's been positives out of all 4 sessions, but we also have more work to do.
Ron, how would you describe Kyrie's evolution as a leader from when he got here last year to what you're seeing right now?
We don't really, obviously, I think anybody's going to grow and get better as time goes on, as you get older. But the way that we do it here is we want everybody to lead who they are. Number one, be you, empower those around you, soar with your strengths and do your job as well as you can. And if everybody does that, they're leading authentically and from whatever role they're in, from whatever seat they're in. Obviously, being a guy that's going to garner a lot of attention, he gets watched a little closer, and there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that, and I think he handles it really well.
With the team that has so much depth, what's maybe the biggest challenge when it comes to rotations, knowing that a lot of these guys are deserving of playing time, significant minutes?
Just trying to win. The most important thing is to put our best foot forward to win the next basketball game, and all these guys want to do that, and a lot of them have proven themselves at this level, and there's going to be days where it goes great for them individually, and there's going to be days where they may play a little bit lesser role. That goes for our starters and our subs, but the goal is bigger than that.
Has the defense looked good to you? I mean, that was
no.
Coach, I know having a second court in this new facility is a big deal for the team. What does that change for you guys during practices? Like, what are you able to do as opposed to what you were restricted to last year?
Yeah, you can do a little bit more. You don't feel like your voices are on top of each other quite as much. We can break into 3 groups, 4 groups if we want. The pre-practice shooting doesn't start an hour and 40 minutes before. It starts 60 minutes before, because we have more courts to work on. So there's a lot of positives, and obviously this place is special. Hopefully we play well and represent it well.
When you have now Gordon, Al, Terry all healthy and Kyrie all healthy and able to play together, how does it help the team when you have multiple veteran leaders on the floor versus last year when so many were injured?
Again, I think we just try to. Everybody's got ownership, so it's not just those guys that are expected to lead. Everybody's got to lead, and so there's no excuse for guys like Tatum and Jalen not to lead. And so everybody does have that role that they play. But obviously, when you have your oldest guys that have been there, done that, again, they're looked towards. And so it's really important how they handle everything. And when they weren't available, I thought they did a really good job of empowering guys. When they were, they handled the ups and downs of the season, well. Obviously, the more the merrier. We want everybody healthy.
What was Robert Williams able to do today?
He did most everything. He didn't scrimmage at the end, but that again is by design after a long day.
Last year, Wick came out and wouldn't call this team a championship contender. He went on the record and said he believes they are a championship contender. Does he feel any extra added pressure and expectations?
No.
Do you feel he's a championship contender?
We always try to be the best that we can be. So I'm just worried about tomorrow. Like, you can't get too caught up in last May, what happened all the way through our run, and then ultimately not quite getting there. And you can't get caught up what might happen in the future. We all know what an ultimate goal is. We're in Boston. We play for the Boston Celtics, but September 27th, tomorrow, our workouts are the only thing that matters. And
Coach,
that's the way we got to stay.
Coach, 2 days of training camp, is that, I know obviously it is what it is, but...
Yeah, I mean, you asked the defensive question. I just think that that's going to be our deal. We're willing to commit at the highest level to that.
Speaking about the defense, I remember at the beginning of last year you talked about Jalen's starting lineup. You needed him to be a defensive player first. You knew he could score. Obviously, he had some big scoring days as the season went on because you guys were down players. But is that, again, needed to be his focus this year, to be that versatile defender?
We need everybody to be that, but certainly he's got to be able to provide the ability to not only guard bigger guys who roll down into the post, to be able to guard the hard driving wings in the league, but then also the great shooters. You know, if you look at that group, especially Jalen guarding the shooters will probably be the matchup quite often. And so there's a lot of responsibility that you have to guard all those positions.
You have a guy who's had a little bit of offensive success, and sometimes a little bit harder to get him back focused into that defensive lockdown.
Well, I think that's the question for our whole team will be how we don't skip steps on the defensive end. And we've done some good things, but you know there's so much that you have to build up to be a great defensive team. And you know it starts with all the effort and everything else, but it also is playing together, working together, covering for one another, and all kinds of things. You know, one person that screws up the whole deal on that end. And so we've all got to be good.
Yesterday was for installation. What was the emphasis today?
Yeah, we tried to focus a little bit more this afternoon on the competitive side, doing some different, really read and react type stuff. Obviously, basketball is a game that you're not going to run a play every time down. There's a lot of random plays in the game, and we're trying to improve our overall decision making. And then I thought that offensively we stuck with a few things installed, but really reviewed yesterday. Thank you.